The Otago Peninsula Biodiversity Group has ramped up efforts to deal with possums on the peninsula. They've been using new technology to track traps by way of an internet-based app. Bruce Kyle is part of the group and he joins us to talk about the pest situation. Good evening, Bruce. What's the possum situation like on the peninsula at the moment?
Well, we've taken about over 7,000 off there so far, and that's over the last 4 or 5 years. And we've just taken out another 230 Tim's trapping along the residential areas, and now we're about to move into the rural land, and we hope to take quite a few more out. So yeah, the numbers are building, and people are starting to see the benefits.
Now you've got an app that you've been trialling. It's to track traps. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, it's a smartphone app that you can download and use you can actually scan a trap, a barcode on a trap with the smartphone, and then access a computer and download information and GPS information that way. So it's a bit like a PDA, which is another step above having a notebook. And yeah, there's some advantages in using that sort of technology. We see it as really good for people who are volunteer trapping for us and residents who are running traps, and I think we'll start using it ourselves in the not too distant future.
So anybody can go out there and place a trap and then put a barcode on it and keep track of it?
Well, we have barcodes on labels that we give to people to stick on traps that we'll be able to give to people to stick on them, and then away they go.
How is the trial going?
It's going pretty well. As I say, we've been very busy with other things. We haven't spent a lot of time on the trial, but we have run some traps with it, and we're looking forward to talking to the developers to look at the pros and any cons that might be there, and try and improve it in every way we can.
Do we know at all yet whether or not the app has been effective?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's done what it's intended to do. You know, it's sent the data to a computer in the city and provided information, and it's the trapper that used it has found it really easy to use, and he said he thinks it's great.
How big a problem are possums on the peninsula?
Well, pretty much like they are everywhere in New Zealand. You know, they have impacts both in agriculture and in conservation areas, you know, ecosystems. They're found from the snow line down to the low tide level basically, and they impact on plants and animals in all those systems. So it builds up, and if you don't do anything about it, you know, it can cause catastrophic effects for some ecosystems.
Are there any other critters out there that are becoming as much of a problem as possums?
Well, there's other pests that are also recognised as real problems already, yes, you know, like stoats, for example, wildcats, you know, there's heaps, rats. I mean, it depends on the ecosystem and or the community involved, you know. Everyone has a slightly different angle on what damage pests are doing for them.
What sort of impact is there on the local human population by the damage that possums cause?
Well, for farmers, you know, they don't want to end up with TB, so that's a major for them. And I mean, for your average person, a lot of people like to see bird life in their gardens, and so getting rid of possums helps that to happen. You know, we're seeing a lot more bird life, tuis, bellbirds, wood pigeons, you name it, out on the peninsula. And yeah, as well as those conservation values that probably not as many people are aware of or value, there's plenty happening right in front of our eyes.
Well, keep up the good work.
Cheers.
Otago Peninsula Biodiversity Group member Bruce Kyle, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks very much. Cheers.